Hello there everyone, Mediocre Otaku here, and today I wanted to do my first anime review, which is something that I've really been wanting to do for a few months now, but I couldn't really think of a title that I really wanted to be my first title. I wanted to be something that not too many people have done reviews on, but also be something that I really like. And so ultimately, what I decided on was Fist of the North Star, because this is a show that I absolutely love. I remember watching this back in 2010, I want to say, and from the first episode, I just was hooked on this. So let's get into this. Now, as a word of warning for those of you who have not yet seen the show but might be interested to check it out after viewing this, the show has a fairly low amount of filler episodes. This is 109 episodes long, 20 of which are filler. However, 10 of those filler episodes take place within the first 22 episodes of the series. And for that reason, I'm going to leave a link in the description that has all of the filler episodes and non-filler episodes listed out for you, because I can completely understand why people might get bored watching this when there's really a lot of episodes where there's no plot progression at all. With that said, let's start things off by talking about the plot of this show. Now, this right here, the original Fist of the North Star series, or Fist of the North Star 1, if you want to call it that, takes place in the year 1990X after a huge World War broke out and basically everything is left in ruins. It's a very Mad Max environment. There are all sorts of bandits on the loose trying to basically take whatever they can, and they don't care who they hurt in the process. However, this guy right here, Kenshiro, is the savior of the Century's End, and it is his goal to protect the weak and innocent from the villainy of the bandits and other people who have less than noble desires. The first story arc of this show follows Kenshiro's quest to retrieve his girlfriend from the hands of his former friend named Shin. Now, Shin was always in love with Yuria, Kenshiro's girlfriend, and so he became quite jealous and decided one day to just take her. He poked a bunch of holes in Kenshiro with his finger and left him for dead and ran off with his girl. Now, I'm sure those of you who don't know about this show are wondering, how the hell did someone poke into someone's chest with their bare fingers? And I'm about to tell you about that. You see, Shin uses a martial arts technique called the Fist of the South Star, which basically allows him to just cut right through people like they're butter. And his technique is a rival to Kenshiro's technique, known as the Divine Fist of the North Star. Now, Kenshiro's technique is different in that he is able to hit people in their pressure points and either heal them in some fashion or explode them from within. And I think you can probably guess which one of those is used more often in this show. While Kenshiro might be more of a strong, silent type character, he is accompanied by two children throughout the show, named Lin and Bat. And these are the only two side characters that are mainstays throughout the whole show, which is good because they really sort of counterbalance his personality. There are plenty of other side characters throughout the show. However, a lot of them either leave at some point or get killed off because there are a lot of crazy martial artists. Speaking of crazy powerful martial artists, let's talk about Rao, who is the main antagonist throughout the series after Kenshiro's encounter with Shin. Now, Rao's main goal is to just conquer everything. He is a greedy guy, yet he's not necessarily a bad guy. A lot of the generals that work for him are complete scumbags, but generally if Rao is around to see the scummy things they're doing, he'll put a stop to it himself. And that's why Rao really is one of my favorite antagonists out of any series that I've seen. especially for this show's time in 1984. It's rare to see a villain that has that sort of level of complexity to them. And I think it's fantastic. I think by the time you have finished watching this show, you'll understand Rao pretty well as a person. And minor spoiler alert, obviously Kenshiro is gonna win in the final fight with him. You're sad to see him go. And speaking of Rao, if you just want a sort of highlight of the series, see if you want to check it out, I would recommend watching Kenshiro's first fight with Rao, because that episode had some amazing animation, and the fight is just awesome. I love it. Now, while that fight in particular might have some amazing animation, not all the show looks that good. After all, it is a show from 1984, done by Toei, and it is not a seasonal series, so they really had to sort of, you know, give certain episodes off to different animation teams. So while the animation quality isn't, you know, the best in this show overall, it's not really the worst either. Especially once you hit episode 80, it appears that they either learned how to use their budget more wisely, or they had some sort of budget increase, because the animation from episode to episode looks a lot more consistent and just better all around. And while we're talking about animation, I might as well mention the music too. There are a few tracks in here that really stand out to me, and I just remember anytime I think of the show. One of those being the first theme song, I Wo Torimoto Se, which has been used in many of the other games and spin-off series related to this franchise, because it is just that iconic and that good of a song. And on that note, I really don't have much else to say about the show. I could talk more about certain plot points, but I really don't want to spoil anything. I feel that shows should be watched blind, and I don't want to sort of ruin any great moments that someone might have with the show on their first viewing of it. However, if any of you would like me to talk more about the plot in future reviews, I will do so. Just let me know in the comments, and obviously, I think majority should rule here. So please, any suggestions I am going to be mostly open to. Just let me know what they are. And with that, I would like to thank you guys for watching. I plan on doing more reviews in the future. I don't know how frequently I'll be doing them, but I do plan on doing more. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all next time.